Alright, the time's come. Kind of knew this would be only a matter of time because I had the same exact problem with the 93 Suburban, and all the structure back here is the same. 93 was a tailgate and lift gate instead of two barn doors like this, but same thing has happened here. That all these seals, you have a rubber seal up here, you have a rubber seal that goes all around the doors, and then you have one up here, and the one going down here on this door. But they failed. They're old. They got dents that have been pressed in. They don't seal anymore. I was in the car wash and I saw water basically just pouring down here. Now with the 93 Suburban, that got bad enough that this carpet was moldy, mildew, and trashed. But this carpet has had these stains and other problems since I bought the truck. So I was always going to do this anyway. Side note is, full-size spare in the back, so a 35-inch spare, yeah, you can fit it there like that. But then you won't be able to put the third row seat in. So there will be another solution for that on another day. It'll go away from here. And having cut that, no, that's not a problem. I've got other plans for this. So what I've done is ordered some parts from LMC Truck. All of the weather strips and molding and all that kind of stuff, I've ordered all that. I like it from LMC Truck because then I know it's going to work. And I've also ordered, while I'm at it, since I'm tearing it out, GT Mat. I've got a product from there, as I'll show you in a second here. Because if you remember in past videos, I'm still not too happy with how much sound transmission I get from the muffler system that basically have a resonator right here, and up there's the two mufflers. And not happy with that kind of sound I get in the cab, so I'm going to try to kill that with this. So first step is to tear all this apart. Now these plastic strips, screws, they're all just Phillips heads, and they're all pretty easy to find and easy to access here and here. This stuff will just strip down once you got these side ones in. In here you have screws in these little pans. You pull these pans out and this top will come right off. Same thing there, screws and screws, top comes off. I have not ever torn apart how this goes, so this will be an adventure to see exactly how to pull the rest of this. I know the air conditioning and heating unit for the rear controls is all back here. That's why you have this vent here, and you have a heat air conditioning vent coming out there. But yeah, you got to pull all these out, just simple Phillips heads. That whole molding up there, you pull that out, simple Phillips heads. And the carpet does divide under this one, so I'll be able to leave this carpet for now. Someday, I don't know, maybe next summer at the earliest, I'll replace the entire carpet up front and do more of the sound deadening up front. But for now, we're going to focus on the rear. So I just got to start pulling everything apart. And jack and all that kind of stuff's under here, so this thing just comes off. We'll figure out how to detach that. But yeah, I've looked at different things I wanted to do, different ideas of how to do this. You know, I could just go get more carpet, but for an area that's mainly cargo area, because once the seat's here, nobody's feet are on here. There's no point to carpet. And having torn apart the one on the 93 Suburban, this is just carpet. There's no pad, no nothing under here. You can almost see the ridges of the pickup bed type indentation in here. So I'll pull all of that out. Oh, these star bit drive for those. So Torx T20, maybe even 15 for these. But yeah, I'll pull that out. What I've got to replace instead with the carpet is this, and a whole roll of this, and I'm not even going to use the whole roll right now, and that's good because I want extra for another project down the line. Probably about this much I'm going to use. And it's a mat that was $100 a roll at Costco. And I've got it laying out in the sun so it'll heat up and be pliable, nice and easy to work with, but it has this diamond tread to it. So that should look pretty cool back there. And yeah, it's black, so this whole two-tone thing I've got going on here will continue with that. So black here. I'm still on the fence, but probably going to do black carpet when I replace that later. I don't know, next summer maybe, maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to get to that. I'm going to start deconstructing everything, show you what it looks like when it's stripped down. Alright, so like I said, those two screws, you notice slots in here, have little tabs in here that fit in, and you can see how they're built. Basically, they slide out and up, like this one. Yeah, same thing, big long slots, you just slide them out of those slots once you got the screws loose, and then you're into the rest of everything else, and that's the whole plenum for the AC right there. So I'm not sure exactly what's behind here. Investigate a little further. There's a screw there. Might be able to just pull, yeah, screw there, I can pull this off. I don't know how much access I'm going to be able to get behind this. I'm looking and I'm not seeing where and how to pull it off. Might be a screw in there. I don't know. I'm going to have to investigate and figure it out. There's got to be a way to pull it off in case you have to service the whole HVAC unit there, so we'll figure it out. Alright, this back panel here just has the 2 screws. No clips or anything, but you do have to get this lock and unlock switch. I like having that switch back here for when I shut the truck back here and want to lock it from here, but yeah, you just pull this out, get that unclipped like you do most others. Watch out all the wiring and stuff when you're screwing around in here. But yeah, let me get that. Of course, this now brings up a couple things. One, the release clip is on the inside, which makes it difficult to get to, but 2, I've had this happen more than once in these old plastic panels. That little deal right there, so it broke off. So now you have nothing to screw to, so I can't put this back until I've actually got some JB weld. I should have shut the music off. I hope you can hear me. But yeah, so that piece I'll have to glue it back in so I can even get a screw to hold it. But yeah, so you see something break like that, hold on to it. Yeah, hang on. Alright, so you can see there's the blower motor for the rear HVAC. There's all the rest of the plenum. Get a good view of what's in there. I mean, the factory did put some insulation in here. You know, some of it's just jute padding. And yeah, there's jute padding all over the back of this panel, but this panel is just held in by clips that go in these points here. Those thin ones. And you just pull it away. The only problem is I'm kind of stuck up here and wondering if I need to take this whole panel off. That won't be easy because the stupid seat belt, otherwise it's just screws, but I don't know, maybe I can do it. Gotta tear a lot apart. I wish they wouldn't make it also interconnected like that, but okay. But yeah, there's that whole HVAC system takes this entire panel up. Because you got the plenums and stuff in here, which makes sense because the yeah, you look at that, it's all right in there, it's above the wheel arch, so that space won't ever be used for anything but this. This space I'll probably recoup with some sort of storage sometime, but this is the jack. Again, same problem inside, you unclip it and it's, I'm trying to figure out where it was clipped. There's those things there, yeah, so you have those basic automotive clips like that are in those slots. And then you got some plastic pins like that, but this is all, again, tied under this, so maybe if I just loosen the bottom I can get it out. We'll see what I can do. I want to pull these totally out. Yeah, so you do have to take these seat belts off. There's a screw under them. You take that screw off, this whole panel will come off. I should have this free. Same thing on that side, screw over there. Yes, those torque size, a T50. So yeah, T50, 50. And that's what takes off those and those little floor cargo strap latches. So here's a little surprise too. A couple 10mm bolts hold this thing in. On both sides, in fact. So yeah, you will have to remove these. Notice this side you only got wiring going on it. This side is bigger and bulkier because of that plenum for the HVAC that comes up here. But yeah, that's how it gets up there. But yeah, so 2 10mm bolts, I have this stuff all free. And then I'll be able to get to work on this. Alright, so that's how the factory does it. They've got this heavy vinyl with the jute pad. That's what they do to kill the road noise, but you know, you got gaps in it, it's cracking, it's gone. I will probably put it right back in when I'm done, but underneath I'm going to put all my sound deadening material. Yeah, it's coming apart. This jack holder is spot welded in place, so I'm likely to leave it, especially since I'm going to leave that panel there because this third row seat will always be a plan on this truck. It's just everything from here back is going to change. Curious. They put their own sound deadening crap on here, but still, it's still pretty tinny. What I don't is I have no access to the outside skin at all. So I guess I'm just going to sound deaden the interior skin. Tempted to remove these right now, but I may not. I may just leave them. Obviously 20 some odd years of dirt and dust. I got some cleaning to do in here once I strip all this out. This one, these bolts ended up being 7mm, not 10mm. But this one, the seat belt's looped through, so that kind of pisses me off. I mean, I could probably cut. It might, I don't know. Cut me an access slot through there to pull it out so I can pull this whole thing out of my way. This one, because there's a brake here, I'll be able to get the seat belt out and be able to pull the whole thing off. But yeah, let me get back to it. Okay, I was wrong. There is a padding under here. The factory put, I don't know, 1 or 2 layers of the jute stuff down, but it's also compressed as to be almost useless. Watch your step. So yeah, just pull the carpet back. Now you're down to bare steel. Well, painted steel, but pull this carpet out and be done with carpeting back here. And then I need to clean everything up, pull out those. May not even touch that one, I don't know. I'm gonna see how easy that is to get out or not. But definitely pull that one out so I can do everything back here. Try to bathtub the whole thing with, yeah, I don't know, that one too, just kind of, we'll see. Now it's time to clean up. Like I was saying, very last use this carpet has for me. I don't know if I can get an angle where you can see it, but yeah, it'll be used. I'll trace out the pattern for the piece of mat I want. The rest of the mat I'll roll up and save for the next project for it. I do have another project in mind for the rest of it. But yeah, you use the carpet like this, you know exactly where all your penetrations and holes are. You can trace it all out and cut it out with a set of shears. I'll show you that in a minute. Or right now, these type shears, just a simple, they're metal shears, but they work great on all this kind of rubber stuff. But yeah, let's do it. Alright, so this weather strip is just sitting on this pinch seam here. And you just pull it all down. Oh, I didn't pull this off yet. There, just that little piece. Then I'll be able to pull it all down. Let me set that down neatly. Yeah, now you can pull it all off. If it'll cooperate. I don't know what I'm hung up on up there. Yeah, so that's trash. And this one, same thing, sits on a pinch weld, and oh yeah, signs of rust. Oh, bad too. For a desert truck, that is bad. I know you guys up in Wisconsin, that's probably just minimal to you. Alright, I'll be tearing into that, and I wish they would have, when they did the Line-X, wrapped this all the way down and around, but oh well. So yeah, I'll be attacking this rust a little bit. Gonna clean all this up. That's gunk, not rust. The best thing I'm liking about this is in my 93 I had spots of rust along that seam. May have been on this side too, but that, you know, when I did the 93, I ended up stripping it down about this far, and then I coated everything back here with Duraback. Now I'm not going to do Duraback this time because I'm kind of over Duraback. It doesn't hold up as well, and I don't think it's going to be as good as some of the other stuff. But I'm going to do a mat back here anyhow. I'll do the sound deadening and a mat, and I'll be fine. Alright, let me get back at it. Alright, so I cleaned it out using microfibers from Home Depot and some Windex. And the shop vac. But that should get it nice and clean so it'll adhere to the surface. It looks like I may need to wipe behind there a little bit more. Maybe I'll even remove those. But yeah, I should be ready now to break out the sound insulator, sound deadener. Alright, here we go. So everybody's heard of Dynamat and Hush Mat and all the others. This is something similar to it, but it is their Quadro. So GT, give me some light, GT Quadro. GT Mat's a company out of Austin, Texas, made in the USA. I like all that. I like Texas. But this gives you 4 layers of sound deadening, the top layer of which is 3/16 inch of foam. So you get 2 layers of butyl, 2 layers of, or a layer of aluminum, and a layer of the foam. So it gives you everything you want in the normal Dynamat, but also a layer of foam. So when you open up a box, the order I made evidently gave me 4 of these. So these are square foot sheets. So I've got 40 square feet, and this is probably a box of the stuff they give you. Hang on a second. Nope, it's a layer of the squares themselves. So here you can see what they look like. So you got that foam on top, 2 layers of butyl, and a layer of aluminum, and then a peel off layer there. So you stick it down, this ends up inside the cab. So butyl, aluminum, butyl, foam, and that becomes the insulation between you and the outside world. So the butyl rubber type stuff actually helps deaden the tinny sound of an undeadened door, but then the foam will actually help insulate too. So hopefully all of this will help kill some of the exhaust sound that gets into the cab. It may not fully work until I've got the whole cab done, which will be when I've got the carpet up front done, sometime next summer probably. But I wanted to get this done this winter. And just to get rid of that ratty old carpet, get a nice mat in there, but then see how well this does. Shoot. I get around using just a decibel app in the truck before I put the resonators on the end of the exhaust. Those are just tips. The resonators are 4 of them, but I put extra resonators, so there's 2 mufflers, 2 resonators on the dual system. I was getting, before the resonators, somewhere around 80 to 85 decibels at the front seat in the cab with just an iPhone decibel app. Then I put the resonators on, that dropped it a good 10 decibels. If we can get another 10 decibels out of this, I'll be all kinds of happy. But I doubt I'll get fully quiet like I want, Cadillac quiet, until I've got the rest of the cab done. But normally when you ship this, they give you a whole bunch of other stuff. So one of these boxes must contain a bunch of other stuff. The roller they give, I've actually got one, I think, sitting right over here in my toolbox. They give one that looks a lot like this. And that's not exactly the grade I want to use. So I go get a Marshalltown. You can order this on Amazon too. A good hard rubber roller. A lot thicker, a lot better tool. Marshalltown tools, I love them. But that is what I use. This rubber one, I tried using one once. I actually cracked the rubber drum. But yeah, I'm going to open up the rest of this, see what we've got. I figured this format and the 1x1 squares should make it all kinds of easy. I just bring this box in the truck and start laying mat down. Roll it down on tight. And normally I would have a big roll of it. Of the other stuff I used in the doors was the 80 mil just butyl and aluminum. And doing that, I'd use a big sheet on the table, and I'd have a straight edge and a razor to cut it with. But with this, yeah, I guess I better go get a razor knife too. Luckily today turned out warm enough. I don't need a heat gun or anything like that. I've got good enough temperature in there that I should be fine. The truck's been kind of sitting in the sun, so that means it's been soaking up some heat and keeping the cab and everything warm, so we should be alright. May get through all of this today, but I don't know if I'm going to get to repair those rust spots and all that up there. I've got an intention for that. Kind of like I did in here, cutting in the doors with the rattle can duplicolor bed liner. I'm going to do that up there. So it seems that's all they sent me was mats. I don't know, I haven't opened all the boxes. These boxes contain more of these mats. I like that they're wrapping in this wax paper. As you can see, some of the butyl is sticking to it. It doesn't get everywhere and you can still use it, but it's not but mats. I'm glad I have my roller already. I'll say this too, is they sent it in one big box. I actually ordered 2. One of 36 square feet and another 10 square feet from their online store on Amazon, or from Amazon anyway. And they just put it all in one box, so they got my entire order in one box. So they're obviously paying attention to their orders and where it's coming from and where it's going to and how much someone wants. If you make bulk orders, they'll put it in one shipment. That's kind of cool, I think. Good American company paying attention to what they're doing. But yeah, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to start installing this. Alright, so there's the first small box worth of it. You notice I put them all in. I'm wrapping down around the bottom here. This carpet will come up here and has that trim piece that sits here, so when I get ready, I've already started that and I can go forward when I rip the front out next year. But just square, make relief cuts where you need to get it to fit and form, like here and here. And then slice out these pieces here. Put the next one down kind of brick pattern so you don't have any continual joints. And it also allows you room to be able to figure out where to cut for penetrations like these seat latch holes. But yeah, I'm going to keep going. Alright, when you're putting this down, especially since you got the ridges like this pickup bed style ridges, you want to put it down from this end first and roll forward and push any air bubbles out. Keep that from happening. I've got more of a gap there than I want, but oh well, it should be alright. I might find a sliver and glue that in, that gap, but try to keep them tight. I'm off here, so I need to stop worrying about filming and worry about putting these in straight. So here we go. Alright, here we go. Fully bathtubed up to a decent height, on up to the windows. Obviously I didn't remove any of this HVAC, so all behind there is just going to be what it's going to be, but wheel wells, tubs, everything. So I don't know if I'm going to put the factory stuff back here. If I can fit it, I probably will, just because I have it. Don't know that I need it though. So next step is to cut the mat to actually fit through here. Hope the music isn't overwhelming what I'm saying. One thing to notice, look at this. If you put crossloads on it, it starts peeling it apart. And there, as I was kneeling in there to get the sides, but I wanted to do the bottom first before I hit the sides to make sure I had the bottom fully covered. But what is that, 46 square feet to tub a Suburban. So that gives you a good measurement if you're ever going to do sound deadening in your Suburban. 46 square feet. I might go get some glue or something to get this jute to stay back up. I'm going to have silicone out anyway for this stuff. I'm probably going to mask this stuff off real quickly, get a wire brush on that, clean it up, mask everything off where I need it, and then just spray this. Yeah, I think that's the next step I'll do. After I've got the mat in, then I'll worry about that. So mat's in, seals are in, then I put it back together. Should be done before it's too dark and cold out here. Look at all that mess. Gotta put it all back together now. After. But yeah. Still leaves me curious how hard it is to get this entire headliner down. I don't know. Thoughts for another time. Alright, here I go. Alright, here we go. It's in. I flew through a lot of this stuff. Battery was need to charge on the camera anyhow, but I've already painted all that. Put in the new strip up there. The new weather strip. Painted all this. Pulled these off, repainted them. Yeah, these things, those little trim pieces, whatever, they needed it. Oh, my noisy babies. You need to go. But there, this strip here, you don't even have to pull trim off, you just pull it on. It's got a couple Christmas tree holders. Notice I do have a tube of silicone. So all of these strips have a track like this, and I put silicone in there even though, well, actually look at this one. So it's got metal reinforcement. There is, if you can see that in there, a sealant in there. So this big long snake is going to go all the way around this edge. So yeah, I repaired the rust up there. Well, brushed it all down to bare metal with a wire brush, and then self-etching primer, put on the bed liner stuff. Which, curious thing is Duplicolor has changed their bed liner formula, but it's not bad. It gets more texture in it now. A lot more texture than it used to, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, so I'll take the, and that, it's worth getting a big caulk gun for this instead of just a tiny tube. I don't know. With this one I may not use the caulking because it's got sealant in there and it's got the double track to hold it on. So I may just push it in and go. Then all I got to do is assemble the rear trim and I'm done with this. The only mistake I made was up front, and the key things to do, so I had this upside down on the floor out there, and so flip the carpet over on it and use it to trace. So these 4 holes, these holes for these tie downs, those are your main points that got to be well. I was probably an inch more on that side and a little bit more on that side than I really needed to, but I don't think that's going to bother it. I may need to cut this to actually get that in. Yeah, that may need to be trimmed. I'm back far enough over here. I don't think it's in the way. But yeah, up there, that trim piece, it didn't tuck under there. I was about probably a 1/4 inch shy of that, which is fine, because, would you be quiet, please? Which is fine, because I'll just go ahead and do a metal piece up there later. Because that plastic one, I mean, these plastic, they're 20 years old, they're breaking. So I'm going to have to do something metal, just a bit of metal angle iron, maybe get some diamond tread bent up like that and just cut it to fit there, and it just screws in with frickin' self-tappers anyway. For now that's fine because it'll be under the seat, so I don't think it'll ever come up. But it's definitely tagged in by these metal plates and those, so it's not going to move anywhere, it's not going to go anywhere. I didn't use any glue, no nothing like that, it's just in here. And then the trim pieces will hold it in after that, so it tucks up under here. Definitely got more room under there than the carpet left me. But yeah, that's alright. But this should be a lot better. I don't know if the insulation will be better. We'll find that one out, I guess. I'm sure hoping it will be. But I'm going to get this together, and that's probably where I'm going to end it here. If you've never taken these off before, it's just these 3 bolts, and then 3 more on the other side, 7 mils, and they pull off. you can scuff them up and then coat them. But yeah, these 3 or 4 pieces of trim, I got to pull this old one off and put the new one on. So I got a new one of those. But replace these old trims and it brings your doors back to life and actually seals everything up. So if you come with me this far, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.